How
How
we
are we?
doing, mate? Sorry, I was just
Hello.
looking at your picture that you just sent me.
He's going to do the intro to everyone else. I thought he's not paying attention. How is
No,
everyone? We hope you're all good. As we come to episode 25 of the League 2 Hour, still ever the professionals, the pair of us. Yes, double game week to get through. 24 football matches, 50 plus goals, and I'm sure plenty of talking points. So we will want your comments and questions and all that type of thing for the next hour. But yeah, another bumper 7 days, it's fair to say, in the best league in the world. So we're just going to do vidi printer style tonight, go through Tuesday's games, detail them, go through Saturday's games, then we'll summarise who's had a good week, who's not, and then look at the league table. You had a good week though, mate? You was at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium over the weekend, weren't you, with your mate Sid, who completed the 92, watching Spurs step closer to relegation.
I always wax lyrical about how I don't cover the Premier League, but I thought I'd do a match day vlog. But the main reason was for him to complete the 92. Just social media is such a beautiful thing, but it's also a negative thing. The amount of people are saying it's not the night, you don't complete the 92 if you're not doing it with your football team. It's absolutely physically impossible for some teams to do it. For some fans,
there's no way. As a Gills fan, I couldn't. There's no way I'm going to do the 92. I'd struggle to do the 70. I'd struggle to do the 72.
Yeah. So it's just like there's always someone that's got to try and bring someone down. You know what I mean? It's just like
probably someone who's not completed the 92.
Yeah, I was exactly just about to say that, mate. Yeah, a lot of green-eyed monsters, but no, Sid had an absolute banging day. It was really emotional because obviously, being a Bradford fan, he obviously was there when the fire in 1985, and he said he'd probably never go into a football ground again, and it sort of scarred him. He eventually went back, and that was the challenge to complete the 92, and there were a lot of emotion, but a lot of laughter and plenty of Guinness. We're a little bit tipsy.
A lot of Guinness as well, weren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Match day live might have been interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's say hello to some people. Who have we got? Actually, talking of Tottenham, I know it's not Premier League show, but I did see a tweet over the last couple of days that made me laugh, and it said, "I'm not sure what everyone's moaning about Tottenham. They look like a top 6 side, although I wouldn't fancy them over 2 legs in the playoffs." Which I thought was quite good. I think Lee's Wi-Fi might have died. Oh, that was the worst joke in the world. Anyway, we'll do some comments while Lee tries to get his Wi-Fi back. He, of course, wants to know which team got result of the weekend. So, yeah, we'll get to the second half of the show with all them weekend games. But we'll say hello to some people. Who've we got in? We've got Liam Welby again. Hello, Matt and Lee. How are you, lads? I'm good, mate. I'm sure Lee's fine, but, you know, he's still on dial-up broadband, unfortunately. You'd think all this money he earns from YouTube, he could pay for a decent router. PFC Life is in the chat. Hey, lads. Hope you're well. Very well, thank you, mate. Assume you're a Port Vale fan. And dare I say it's becoming acquainted before next season. Welcome back, it looks like, sadly. Yeah, Lee says again, smash the like button and share. That'd be brilliant. If you can share it everywhere, brilliant. Really appreciate it. Like I say, it keeps us visible to the audiences across YouTube and all that type of thing. He's back again. I thought you just didn't like my joke.
I've transferred to the phone. I did say before we went on, didn't I, that I've moved positions in the shed and I need to invest in a booster. So probably that will be my challenge this week. Because obviously
we'll just say hello to everyone, mates. You didn't miss anything. James, the Oldham fan, says good evening all. I'm sure he's very happy, as is Simon. Good evening, Matt and Lucky Charm Lee. Liam says be quiet, Matt. Oh yeah, because I think Liam follows Tottenham in the Premier League, so he's not had a great couple of days. Went to Gills Saturday and then watched Tottenham on Sunday.
Oh Jesus Christ.
That's brutal, that, isn't it? Reese is in the chat. He says hi, evening to Reese, Doncaster fan. Nice to see people dropping in from League One. I don't think Donny will be back with us next season. They're having a battle, but I think they'll be all right. Who we got next? We've got True Pink He says, never felt so pressed as a Gills fan. It makes me angry. I travel 3 hours for a home game to feel angry at the end of it. Yeah, it's not fun at all, mate. Not for anyone. Obviously, you've got a bit further to travel, which is not nice. Nick, Gills fan, who travels up from Sussex as well, just skirt over the Gills this week. Yeah, keep trying, mate. Aaron Grimsby says Barrow are awful. We will get to them. Me and Lee were having a chat on WhatsApp earlier about their running, which is absolutely disgusting, isn't it? And dare I say it, I'm going to put it out there at the top of the show. I think Barrow are gone, unfortunately. The form is awful. Keep changing managers. Their running is absolutely disgusting, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah, but you sent me it early, and obviously we didn't know what that is. Grim reading.
Yeah, we'll get to it in more detail. But essentially, in their last 8 games, they play 7 in the top 12 before they host Newport on the final day. So that could be a dead rubber by then. Pop 5000's another one who thinks we should start a crowdfunder for Lee's Broadback. Absolutely not. I know how much he earns on YouTube. He can pay for it himself. Here's the main man, the 92 completer. Evening, Sid. Fair play to you, mate. Hope you had a good day yesterday. Reese just quickly wants to know how Doncaster will get on. Lee, you could probably answer that. You watch more of League One than I do. Obviously, I have to concentrate on League Two and my lovely football club.
I'd say probably mid-table, maybe a push for playoffs. It just depends on your recruitment, to be honest. I think you've got to get that right. With teams coming down, but also teams that are going to be going up. The league just completely always gets stronger, and teams underestimate how good they're going to be. You look at Lincoln this season. I don't think no one tipped them to look like they're going to win the league.
An absolute storm. Oh yeah, beat Cardiff a couple of weeks ago. Flying, absolutely flying. Fair play to them. Sid's just got up in other news. It's all them baby Guineas, mate. Appreciate you had a good day. Talking to legends, we've got the wheelchair king. Finley is in the chat. Evening, Finn. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Cotton Pie says hello. Context for that one. Lee loves context with YouTube handles, so if you can explain that one. Right. Should we do some games?
Yeah.
Let's start with Tuesday. So, full quota last week, 11 on Tuesday night. I think there was 1 on Wednesday, wasn't there? MK Dons were on the box against Colchester United. But we will start in Wales. Newport County 0, Bromley 1, Corey Whiteley 88th minute winner. We spoke about Bromley recently, haven't we? And now they've not won as many games as they've won. And we said the key thing is they don't lose football matches. They've gone to Bromley. They've gone to Newport. Tough game. Found a way. Champions elect for me still.
Yeah. That's what defines teams, isn't it? They always find a way. Sometimes you can... I mean, you look at the form the last few months, they've had a run of draws, winning by the odd goals. I think sometimes you're going to have that spell, but it's about not losing and dropping points, and that's what they've done. Even when they have them sticky spells where I think they drew 3 in a row, did they? 3 or 4.
Something like that, yeah. I think it was 2 wins and 7, but 5 draws, wasn't it? So they're still not getting beat. And I think they tweeted at the weekend after, because they won again at the weekend as well, didn't they? Which we'll get to in a little while. A whole calendar year unbeaten at Hayes Lane is an absolutely phenomenal effort from Andy Woodman and everyone involved with the football club. They're just a really, really good football team and a really good football club.
It's ridiculous. So I touch on Bradford. I think that their own form got them over the line last season. Had it not been for that unbelievable home form, they'd have probably not been where they were, because their away form were atrocious. But Bromley have got that better away form, hence why they look like they're going to be winning the league. And we've vouched for them and we've raised them up on a pedestal, because I think for the story that it'd be absolutely fantastic from where they've come from to not only get promoted, but to win the league. It'd be absolutely ridiculous. And what a fantastic story for not only football, but them Bromley fans. I think just shows you put a right team together, anything can happen.
Absolutely, yeah. Proper fairy tale story. It'd be one of them clubs, if they did a documentary, it'd actually be worth watching.
Yeah. None of this over dramatic. Yeah, it'd be fantastic watch if someone did that.
I just love it when they say fairy tale and they're billionaire owners. It makes me laugh, but this is proper phenomenal. So, second game on Tuesday was Accrington Stanley hosting Notts County, and this went the way of the visitors by 4-0. Jody Jones and Keenan Bennett scored in the first half, and Connor Grant and Tyrese Hall added 2 more in the second period as the Mags run out by 4-0. Continue to prove me wrong. Continue to make me look silly, mate. They've had a really good week. We'll get to their Saturday game in a little while, but you go away from home anywhere in League Two and you win by 4-0, you're a good side.
Yeah, not half. And Accrington, they've had a little sticky spell now after a good run. I think we backed them to be them dark outsiders to get into the
some podcast and backed them to have a run towards the top 7.
But since that day, we apologise, Stanley fans.
In fairness, we did apologise at the time. They've now gone lost, draw, lost since we said that.
Ridiculous. But no, credit to Notts County. They had a little blip, but they've come over that and they're scoring freely. I think with what they scored the weekend, we're at 9 goals in a week is absolutely remarkable. And different players are chipping in with goals, which is brilliant. They're not just relying on one player to score them the goals. It's.
I think it was 4 goal scorers Tuesday, and I think it was 5 separate goal scorers, including their own goal at the weekend as well. Yeah, so absolutely spot on. And I don't think Jatta or Matty Dennis got any of them as well, which is another plus.
No.
If you're obviously trying to jump into the playoffs, or dare I say it, the top 3 at the moment, because they're right on the coattails of Cambridge and MK Dons, and obviously we'll talk about it in more detail. Riley wants to know who we think will get top 3. We'll do that at the end, mate. When we talk about the league table, we'll have a good chat about the table as a whole and who we think is going to end up in the top 3. James says, well done to Sid on your achievement completing the 92.
I think with them predictions, I think we're good. Should we cement them in and stand by them? So we
can do that. We'll do that tonight then. So Reece, if we forget, remind us at the end of the show, and we will lock in our top 3. I'm not doing it at the bottom because it's ridiculous down the bottom, apart from Barrow. Simon says, Matt Hudson going for the Oldham goalkeeper. Clean sheet in a season record tomorrow night. He made 2 good saves with his feet on Saturday. He's very hard one. Yeah, been really good. And there was a spell, weren't there, in the middle of the season where Oldham just lost that defensive resilience, but right back at it now. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to jinx them.
No, we'll touch on their result. Obviously, I was at that game at Chesterfield. Do you want to touch on that now?
We can do that. We've got Cheltenham Crew Alexander first. That was a 1-1 draw. Jake Bickerstaff for the home side, and then James Connolly equalised with 5 minutes to go for the Alex, as both teams took a point. And yeah, Lee went to the SPH Community Stadium? Saltergate was the old ground. I hate these horrible names. But yeah, Lee went and watched Oldham turn them over by 3-0. Kane Drummond with a double. And that man, Mike Fondop, who's just running himself into some great form at the right time of the season, completed a brilliant win for Mickey Mellon's men. Mr. Around the Grounds will tell us all about it.
Solid. I'll tell you what, I'm really, really impressed with Oldham. This one was a really interesting one because obviously Chesterfield had that 7th spot at the time. Oldham going into, I think they were 13th. They ended up going up to 11th. With still games in hand, but performance-wise, solid at the back. Midfield looked really, really good on the ball. They've got that width. They've got pace. You've got obviously the big man up front, Fondop, and yeah, it's just clicking into gear. I mean, like I said, Drummond, he started scoring, and he looked really, really sharp and at it and caused so many problems. His pace is absolutely ridiculous. And then on the other wing, you've got Jack Stevens, and yeah, it just really clicked into gear, and they were really solid and looked a threat going forward. And Chesterfield just a little bit flat for me. But they
keep doing what we say, don't they, Chesterfield? It's always one step forward and 1 or 2 back. They're so inconsistent. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'd love to be inconsistent and be 8th, but we're just consistently crap. So, pays your money, you takes your choice, I suppose. But
But
Oldham,
on that performance, if they keep that performance up as obviously it'd be hard push to keep it up to the end of the season. But if they do, I won't back against them. I really won't.
I know
Because
they're just not
conceding. They're just not conceding goals, and that is the basis for any good team to get results in this division.
Only one team has conceded less than Oldham, and that is Cambridge United, who are third. They've conceded 28, Oldham 31. Obviously, the difference that pushes Cambridge right into the top three is they've scored 56 compared to Oldham's 44. But they're certainly scoring more, Oldham, than they were earlier on in the campaign. And again, like Fondop's form, it's happening at the right time. And like you say, it's all just starting to click. Who we got? We've got Aaron, the Grimsby fan, says, does make me chuckle that Leicester versus Bromley could be a League One fixture next season. Yes, as could Tottenham versus Charlton in the Championship, apparently. Simon said it, Lee. This isn't on us. We've got it on the screen. Never mind, Aki. It's Oldham now, dark horses. Not saying a word. Not saying a word, Simon. I can delete that comment and we can carry on, or you can jinx your whole season.
Loads of people have asked me, like...
There we go. James, keep quiet, Simon. We don't want them to jinx us.
Yeah.
See, James knows, but it's not on us anymore. It's not on us if Oldham fall off the edge of a cliff.
I'm not saying anything, because I'd love it to happen, but I am not saying anything.
And talking to Mike Fondop, he becomes the first Oldham striker to score 50 goals since Andy Ritchie in the late 1980s. Or there's a name from the past.
He is, yeah.
Andy Ritchie and Ian Marshall up front, early Premier League.
Yeah.
Blue kit, blue and red collar, Bovis on the front.
Oh, yeah, that is a classic kit, that. Proper old school.
We do like a bit of retro, don't we?
We do, mate, yeah.
Right, where did we
be
get
looking
to?
For Oldham shirts online later on.
Oh, excellent. That one was, I remember that one, because they were in the first Premier League, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
I had some proper players. Who was a big geezer they had at the back? I can't remember. I had some players, I remember their team. And then early 90s goalkeeper templates were absolutely phenomenal as well. I think Oldham was like grey with like red and blue lines here, there and everywhere. Like someone had just gone mental with a couple of felt tips. 46 of you watching in other news, which is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. If we can get to 50, that'll be absolutely superb. Richard Jobson, thank you. Simon, memory's not quite what it was. Anyway, enough about Oldham for now. We will talk about it again in a minute. Crawley Town 1, Barnet 1. Danilo Orsi's 89th minute penalty cancelled out Mark Shelton's 56-minute strike. But Crawley continue to struggle for wins. Barnet looked like they were making a run for the playoffs. Stuttered on Tuesday, but we'll talk about them again on Saturday. Gillingham 0, Swindon Town 2 happened. Yeah, Gills were really good first half and then conceded 2 soft goals. First one is absolutely disgusting. Long ball. 2 centre-halves look at each other and it bounces through to Aaron Drynan, one of the worst players in the league. You could allow a run on goal and he smashed it past Jake Turner. And then Fletcher Holman secured the win on 86 minutes. We were chasing the game a little bit at that point. Same old story for Gills. Grimsby Town left it really late against Fleetwood Town. And it was Jay's Cabia in the 96th minute to earn a huge 3 points for Grimsby as they try to bridge the gap to the top 7. Which they might have done by the time we get to round 2 of fixtures. Salford beat Barrow by 3-1, courtesy of Ryan Graydon's 20th minute strike, and then a double from Fabio Barini on 69 and 83. And in between, Danny Rose scored a consolation for Barrow. We've already mentioned it, mate. Let's talk about Barrow. They look like a team that is sleepwalking back into the National League, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've just said about their fixture running. It's grim. Obviously conceded 3 against Salford and then shipped another boatload on Saturday. Just grim, just really grim. They remind me of what Harrogate was
3 months ago.
Yeah. But it's probably too late now if anything's going to turn around because they need a miraculous recovery. Because, like I say, it's just the fixture running, the playing teams that really don't want to be playing that are probably all going for it, really. I don't know if you've got the fixtures to hand there.
I haven't. When we get to the Saturday, we'll have a look at their running, and then people
Yeah.
can agree or disagree with us whether they think they've got any chance of staying up. Stockport v Spurs would be an interesting championship fixture as well, says Bob. Yeah, that's a fair point. Or Lincoln. Lincoln v Tottenham as a league fixture. That's absolutely mental, isn't it?
The Forest fans.
Oh my God.
Forest fans were making me chuckle. They were just singing Lincoln away, ole, ole.
Spurs being so inept has made Lincoln probably the most famous football club in the EFL at the moment, which is absolutely brilliant to see. Paul says, Earl Barrett, Oldham defender. Yes, another one. Remember him played fullback, I think, if the memory serves me correctly. Sold him to Villa for 1.7 million. Yes, I do remember him when he went to Villa, and they had that kit with the grandad collar and the big laces. That was a fashionable thing back in the early 90s as well. There's another one we'll add to the summer list. We'll do retro football kit episode.
Yeah.
James has summed up Barrow quite nicely. Changing managers more regularly than a hooker's knickers go up and down. Any kids watching, ask your mum or dad to explain that one, or send a message to James and he'll talk you through it. Oh yeah, Dennis Irwin played for him as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, before he went to Man United. I'm not sure, was he? I think he'd already gone to United by the time the Premier League had come into play, though, hadn't he? He'd left there a couple of seasons before, I think. Tony Eastman says, do we think Cambridge will go up automatically? We just said to someone else, mate, once we get to the league table, we're going to lock in our top three. So we'll let you know who we think is going to go up automatically at the end of the show. 41 still watching, so thank you very much. Please keep hitting that like button, that hype button, sharing, doing all that. Subscribe if you're new. Tranmere Rovers, Neil, Harrogate Town 3 at Prenton Park. Reece Smith on 9 minutes and a double from Chance Headman on 11 and 39 saw the Sulphurites win this one before half time. They keep giving themselves a chance. And if we're talking about Barrow sleepwalking to relegation, I think we have to talk about Tranmere potentially doing the same as well.
Yeah, I think since he's come in, he's only had one draw. Has he had that bounce? Possibly not. Is it a case of them players are just simply not good enough? Obviously, defeat like that at home to Harrogate, who are right in there with you, it is not good at all. And Tranmere need a miracle, because obviously the result of the weekend didn't help as well. They just look another side that's in free fall. Every credit to Harrogate, we wrote them off, as probably a lot of fans.
I think as Harrogate fans did, in fairness.
Yeah, to be fair, they probably did, yeah. But they're showing fight and that they can get out of it. Obviously, it's a father-son relationship, so he's stuck by him. He's been there years. So every credit to him, because they've dug in and given themselves a real fighting chance now.
Tranmere's form since New Year's Day. They went to, ironically, Harrogate. They went to on New Year's Day and they won 2-0. Since then, they've played 15 games. They've won 1, drawn 1, lost 13.
Jesus, that is minging.
That's rotten, isn't it? Absolutely rotten. 2 final games to talk about on Tuesday was a goalless draw between Walsall and Cambridge. So an unbeaten start continued for Darren Byfield in interim charge till the end of the season, I think has been confirmed now.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
And on MK Dons beat Colchester United by 1-0 on Wednesday night, thanks to an own goal from Colchester keeper Matt Macy just before half time. Right, let's do some more comments and then we'll start having a look at Saturday's games. There we go. I knew Simon would help us out again. Knowledge of everything. Look, Dennis Irwin went to Man United before the 1990-91 season for 650. I thought it was, because I'm sure I remember him in that all-white kit for United when they beat Barcelona in the Cup Winners' Cup final. Who scored the winner?
I ain't got a clue.
There we go. There's a quiz question for everyone tonight. Man United, I think, beat Barcelona by 1-0. And which player scored the winning goal for United? I'm going to back Simon to get it. Aaron says, I hope Harrogate go down. No, we can't buy a win at their place, but you can buy a pie, the best pie in the country. We don't want Harrogate to go down, do we, Lee?
For the pie, I think atmosphere. I get why he's probably saying it. I think atmosphere.
It is dead, to be fair. Yeah, it's
awful. But you went when they were in that proper.
Oh yeah, it was. I said to you at the time, it was awful. Like it just felt like it weren't even like a pre-season game. It was just nothing coming back at all. Not even at the beginning when you're trying to get your players up. And we were comfortable, and we've been rubbish for months. So for us to be comfortable says all you need to know about Harrogate at the time.
Yeah, it does.
DFT Lewis is in the chat. Evening, buddy. He says, hard to care about football a minute when our players don't. Still think Ainsworth is the answer. This squad don't care. Haven't felt this way about our club since last year. Oh, yeah.
He summed that up very well there.
It's the same every season, is it? I put a vote up on social media over the last 24 hours about whether Gareth's still the main man. And I think it's about 65% still think that he's the right man, or at least deserves the summer. Where do you stand on it? I mean, I talked to you about it mainly just as some sort of free therapy session, to be quite frank, but it's abundantly clear that the players have let down more than one manager now, and there's so many of them out of contract that you've got to give Ainsworth the summer, haven't you?
Yeah, because if you keep changing managers, you just seem to be not getting anywhere. You've obviously had a big turnover of managers. It's not worked. So look why it hasn't worked. It's clearly the players that are not up to the standards of where it needs to be. And you've got rid of some really good managers that have obviously now. You look at Neil Harris, what he's gone on to do with Cambridge.
And who's their director of football? Mark Bonner.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's got to be a deep rooting issue in terms of the players are just not up to it. I think this year you need that clear out, give him that opportunity. Then, if it doesn't work, I'm not saying pull the trigger straight away, even if it didn't, because sometimes it takes time to gel in terms of he's going to.
If we get to November, December, and we're like bottom third, then we can have a conversation, because then it's on him, isn't it? He'll die on that sword, because if his own players, he's got no excuse. But at least he's dying on his own sword, not one that was a hand-me-down from 2 or 3. And I even said on social media today, and I had a laugh with one Gills fan who was very much a fan of this man. You can probably say that Stephen Clements was hard done by, in the sense that the players let him down as well. Because at the time, Harris left for non-football reasons.
Yeah.
Or for football reasons because we didn't play pretty enough football. So you could only go off of what Clements did with that group. But with the benefit of hindsight, Clements got stitched up by him as well. At the top, I think we won 5 of our last 20 games, and we were well placed to get in the playoffs at the end of that season. 2 of our last 11 we won. It's abundantly clear now that these players just haven't got anything about them when they have to play under pressure.
Yeah, well, like you said last week, as soon as that October, like November weather kicks in,
as the clocks go back, they've had it.
Yeah, and you can't keep doing that. You've done that now for past 2-3 seasons?
Yep, 23-24 was Harris went in October. 24-25 we were top start of October under Bonner, and he was gone by New Year. And then this season, 6 of our 9 wins came in 6 of our 11 wins came in the first 9 games. We won 5 out of 28 since then. It's horrific.
Yeah. So had you not won them, you'd have been right in the crap down.
Bang in it. I said that the other day. I said our first 9 games were the cushion rather than the platform to kick on.
Yeah. And had you not know, you thought you were going for promotion, but you were just keeping his in.
Well, he keeps saying he needs to get out of this league, the chairman, but
maybe not down.
But no, to be fair, he did a good interview on Radio Kent at the weekend and said, like, we've got bits wrong. We wanted to be better this season. Recruitment will be completely different this year because they've added a new massive sort of analytics program to how they do it, as more they were relying on just eye test, which is why I think you end up with players that have one good season. But we'll see. There's always next season. I've said that should be Gills Club logo on their badge. Paul has asked, from a fixture point of view, which team would you like to come up via the National League playoffs? Well, it's tricky, isn't it? Because we don't know who's going up automatically, but it's Boreham would be local for me from a geographical point of view.
We'll answer it. I'd say York to win it.
I said
Playoffs.
Notts now to win it, so I'm going to stick to it just so me and Lee have got a bit of a fun wager going on till the end of the season.
Yeah, York to win it.
And you got Carlisle. You'd say Carlisle, Boreham Wood, and Scunthorpe would probably stay in.
You know what? For the love story, Scunny.
Even Forest Green are probably almost nailed on, aren't there? And then it's probably a battle between Halifax, Southend, and Hartlepool for that last space.
Yeah.
In the Southend, watched us get tanked there. Boreham Wood would be interesting from our point of view. Scunny back in the Football League would be a good story.
Yeah.
Forest Green can stay as far away from the Football League as possible.
No, definitely.
Like, you want a proper pie, don't you? You want a proper burger.
Yeah.
I don't want
just
soy oat, whatever milk in my cup of tea either, to be honest, because it tastes minging. Like, fair play to the owner if he wants to be like that, but I still think they should cater for people that want to eat meat at the ground.
Them Oldham fans did it right. Good lads.
That was unbelievable. That's still the best banner in the last couple of years. We went there 23-24 under Clements, myself and Ava on a Friday night, and Stocky, and because it was near Christmas, Stocky had like a pigs in blankets pie, but it was rot, absolute rot. Ava was moaning about the chicken nuggets all the way home as well. They were absolutely shoddy. So they can stay well away. Yeah, I think Scunthorpe, the romantic, Halifax as well, ex-Football League team, Southend, Hartlepool, ex-Football League. So, but yeah, I think Boreham Wood or Scunthorpe for me would be quite a good story.
Yeah,
Boreham Wood would be first time in the Football League, similar to Bromley when they came up, I think, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and obviously, I think they got promoted last season from the South, didn't they?
Oh, their manager's a good manager. Is it Luke Garrard was there, got sacked because they got relegated, and then he went back and got them up.
Yeah.
Because I remember a couple of years ago, didn't they get to like the fourth round of the FA Cup, lost to Everton?
Yeah.
I'm sure they did, yeah.
They played Bournemouth, I think. I
remember they had a really good cup run.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 seasons ago, yeah. And I just like the fact that on their shirt it just says The Wood.
Yeah.
No sponsor, just their nickname. Absolutely love that. Who did I say would get the answer to the Cup Winners' Cup final goal? Simon. Well done, Simon. Mark Hughes rounded the keeper and smashed it in from a tight angle. Paul went for Clayton Blackmore. There's a name from the past. Clayton Blackmore. It wasn't him. I think he might have been in the squad. Then went to Borough later on in his career, I think.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Played at Donny as well.
There you go. There's a shout. Look at that. Right, shall we talk about Saturday?
We shall. Let me get the results up. There's been that much football, you forget what's happened.
I watched 4 football matches yesterday. For anyone who cares, probably not. 52 are you watching? Thank you very much. Come on, let's push on to 55. Keep pressing like, subscribe, and all that jazz.
One thing I noticed, a lot of the teams that's going for them playoff spots and promotion, obviously, MK Dons aside, all got decent results, didn't they? I'm just looking at it now.
I actually did some notes on a summary to sort of work out who'd had a good week, who'd not so much. Obviously, at the top and the bottom, I'm not worried about mid-table sides because without, being disrespectful, they're not going to have an effect on the season at this stage. But yeah, first game we talk about was Cambridge United against Salford City, and this went the way of the home team. James Gibbons' strike 4 minutes after half-time kept Cambridge firmly in the title picture, as they do have a game in hand on leaders Bromley, despite being 7 points behind them. And the other lunchtime kickoff, as Lee has just mentioned, MK Dons 1, Barnet 3, was a bit of a coupon buster. I know Barnet's been decent away from home, mate, but that was a big result for the Bees. John Mellish put the home side in front on 7 minutes, but Barnet roared back through Danny Collins in injury time in the first half, Kabongo Shimanga on 48, and Idris Kanu in the 57th minute sealed the points. For a Dean Brennan-less Barnet, we have to remember as well at the moment. Phenomenal effort. MK Dons in danger of slipping out the top 3?
I'd still say no, but on that result, I think that Bromley winning the title, I think, is the banker now. I think they're going to kick on. And
Cambridge win their game in hand, they go above them onto 75. If Notts County win their game in hand, they get within a point of Notts County, within a point of MK Dons, and then squeaky bum time starts, doesn't it? And it's it's great to see a battle still. That's the main thing, is you've got something on everywhere. Teams getting in the top three, teams winning the title, teams getting in the playoffs. There's so much to play for.
Yeah, because you look at Swindon as well with their 2 results. They've put themselves back in that shout now, because obviously they're on 69, not a million miles away. Played
a game extra, though. That's the only thing for me.
Yeah. But
we do our top 3 talk now, because we're kind of talking about it.
Yeah, let's lock them in, mate. Let's lock them in.
Bromley win it for me.
Yeah.
Cambridge finished second for me. Who's your second? What do you want me to do on mine?
Cambridge.
Your Cambridge runners up as well?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the fixtures. Bear with us.
I know we've shot it. I'm going to go Bromley, Cambridge, and MK. I'm locking them in. Still think MK will.
MK Dons go from next weekend. Salford away, Barrow at home, Oldham away, Bromley at home, Crewe away, Tranmere at home, and they finish at Fleetwood. So you'd say you'd back them to beat Barrow, and you'd back them to beat Tranmere, and maybe Fleetwood. But then they've got some tough ones. I'm going to say Notts County.
Are you going for Notts County?
Because I need to get some Notts County fans back on side, because they gave me absolute pelters at the start. Honestly, I've probably got about 2,000 bookmarks on one tweet, I'd imagine, when I said they'd finish 18th. So I'm going to go Bromley, Cambridge. Yeah, I'm saying it. Notts County. And you're sticking with MK Dons third.
I'm still sticking with him, mate. Yeah. But
so congratulations on MK Dons winning the title. I shall write that down.
I'm not gonna lock him playoff position, because I just think
that's mental.
An absolute lottery, especially that 7th spot. It's ridiculous. I mean, you've got from Barnet. Oh, Barnet, Oldham, Walsall, Crewe, Chesterfield, Grimsby.
I think it's Barnet and upwards. I think.
Yeah.
No, I'd say Oldham and upwards, based on the fact that Barnet have played 39. I think that's a too big a gap from now. If Oldham win one and lose one of their games and they're on 61, suddenly there's a 3-point gap just to 11th for Barnet to bridge.
Oldham, Notts County's huge tomorrow.
Have you seen Barnet's next 2 games?
No.
Cambridge and Bromley at home.
Yeah, it's Oldham upwards.
And they go to Notts County third game from the end. Oh. Ask me again about Barnet after the next 2 fixtures. Anyway, let's do more comments, because we've just sort of talking about ourselves here.
Just getting a bit giddy, aren't we?
Hughes got both actually in that cup final. Scored the winner in a 2-1 win. I thought it was 1-0, so I do apologise. Thanks for helping me out, people. DFT Lewis back to Gilles quickly. Says Ainsworth is 100% the guy for me. When the players don't do this every year, it's clearly not on Gareth. Let Gareth get this rubbish out and help him get us out a division. He's levels above. I'm still firmly in the Gareth Ainsworth in camp. It was a 2-year plan for a reason, I think, and he didn't promise promotion in them 2 years. He just said he'd leave us in a better place after 2 years, and now he found us. So, True Pink says only players that care are Hale, Gale, and Dak. Scrap the rest, rebuild. I don't agree with this. They don't care. Unfortunately, I just think they're not good enough. I've used this analogy a few times now. I think they're trying, but their trying is just only good enough for bottom third. I said it's like putting a second-hand Sierra in a Grand Prix, isn't it? You maximum speed of the Sierra doesn't get anywhere near the maximum speed of a Ferrari or a McLaren or a Mercedes. So I don't buy into them not trying. I just think they're not very good, sadly. See, Aaron knows about Gills. Absolutely correct. As soon as the clocks go back, we stop and we don't turn up until spring again. So if you play us in the last 6 or 7 games, be afraid.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Don't know why I did that in a scary voice. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, we still got to play Grimsby. We still play Grimsby as well, actually. So, no, don't be afraid. We've got a shout for Southend to come up through the playoffs after everything they've been through. Yeah, they've had one hell of a tough few years as well. Paul says Rochdale for the chippy. Lee knows all about that. I'll vouch for it.
To be fair, I've had that many chippies that I can do it, and them not coming up.
Aaron says keep Scunny in non-league forever. I can tell he's a big fan.
Yeah, big fan.
I think the winner out of you or Lee for Rochdale v York, the loser should do a forfeit. All right, if I lose, I'll go and watch Gills regularly next season. That's a forfeit. I've done that already.
I'll go and watch Wednesdays.
Oh dear. Wednesday v Bromley.
Yeah.
Went to Boreham Wood in the FA Cup this season. Not great. I'm a Burton fan. Oh, excellent, Paul. Thank you for just letting us know you support. Yeah. So, Burton struggling at the moment, aren't they?
They got a good result against Bradford Saturday.
Where are Burton in the league?
Oh
yeah, jumped out. 4 points clear of safety at the moment. Yeah, so they've picked up in recent weeks. So fair play to them. Yeah, won 2 of their last 3 and lost only. Lost only 3 of their last 10. So yeah, Burton pulling away, which is good news if you're anyone of a Burton persuasion. Nick Castleton says Forest Green to come up for me, Matt. 5 minutes walk from my son's house. Get me one, mate, if you're taking food. I'm not eating their pies. The only decent thing was the chips. No patty or no pataya for Shannon. As Steve Bruce at Gills before your time watching? Yeah, he was. He was early 80s. I started. My first game was 89. Went with my dad and then started going regularly in the early 90s. Aaron says MK Dons should be smashing the league with their fortunes. I'm assuming Jonathan's not watching because I'm sure he'd have had a word with me by now for my prediction. Right, let's have a look at some more games. Accrington 0, Chesterfield 1. The enigma that is the Spyrites went to Stanley and won by goal to 0 thanks to Will Dixon's strike just past the hour as they continued to flirt with the playoff places. Bromley, another 1-0 win against Colchester United. And we've said it before, mate, if Michael Cheek doesn't get you, Nicky Kabamba invariably will. And it was him that won the game for the Ravens on 73 minutes. Back-to-back wins to 0. Absolutely crucial at this stage of the season.
Yeah, and that home form is absolutely ridiculous.
Yet they're still not top of the home table. Cambridge are still in front of them. It's mental.
Is that based on wins then? It must be.
It's based on goal difference, I think. And I think Cambridge have got a game in hand because they've won more but only lost 1. Let me just bring that up. You talk to us about how good Bromley are and I'll find the league table.
Yeah, Bromley. We've talked about Bromley, their story. They're absolutely fantastic, and 2 1-0 wins is how you win titles. Sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty. It's about getting the job done and getting 3 points, especially this stage of the season with teams breathing down your neck. The fact that they've had teams that have been relentless, you like MK and Cambridge, Notts County have been in there. They've all kept up with the pace, and Bromley have always kept that gap, and it's testament to them and the group of players and the management team. It's absolutely fantastic, and yeah, them Bromley fans must be absolute dreamland.
Yeah, 44 points on their own patch from 20 games, won 12, drawn 8, lost none. But Cambridge got the same points from 1 less game because they've won 13, drawn 5, lost 1. So at the moment, yeah, they're top on goal difference. But yeah, back to Bromley, absolutely ridiculous run of form. Still haven't lost a football match in the league since the 29th of November.
Ridiculous.
That's nuts, isn't it? Absolutely nuts. So much green as well. So many wins. After they lost to Walsall, they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the bounce. And even the last 9, they've won 4 and drawn 5. So you're looking at 12, 17 points from 9 games. It's still nearly 2 a game. It's title winning form. Whichever way you look at it, you cannot get away from them, I don't think. So fair play to everyone, like we've already said. Fleetwood Town beat Crawley Town by a goal to nil thanks to Ched Evans' 57th minute strike at Highbury. And I've put in asterisks the end of Scott Lindsay and Neil Smith. That was announced late on Sunday night that Lindsay and his assistant manager and coaching team had been relieved of their duties. No win in 10 for Crawley Town, mate. They're bang in trouble, aren't they?
Bang in trouble. Obviously, Scott Lindsay, what he did, getting them promoted, it wasn't great that they come straight back down. But they're just obviously hovering a point. Yeah, Harrogate are on 30, Crawley 31. It's not looking good. I think out of he looks at likes of Tranmere, Crawley, Barrow, but then you look at Newport and Harrogate. I think Newport and Harrogate are showing more fight. They're picking up wins, odd points. And Newport and Harrogate were cut adrift at one point. They were becoming a bit of a gap, and things are obviously closed now. And yeah, Crawley, Tranmere, Barrow, bang in trouble. Because like I say, you look at there's that fight there, which is what you want to see for your team. And points, we echoed last week that a point means more down there than it would, say, if you're going for a playoff position or a top 3 or a title.
That's why I'm going to say, to interrupt, sorry, that I think they'll be all right. Because although they've not won since the 31st of January, they've drawn 5 of those 10 winless games. So 5 points from 30 is not good enough. But like you've just said,
yeah,
they can win one or 2 games and they can grab a couple of draws with. And obviously, the other point we have to make is they're playing Gills at the weekend. So it's not all doom and gloom, Crawley fans.
Is that at Crawley then, yeah?
That is at Crawley, yeah. So Gills will invariably take a huge following. And yeah, we'll leave it there for now and see what happens. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who Crawley appoint, though. I know Sam, the Crawley fan in our WhatsApp group, was saying he wouldn't mind seeing someone just come in as an interim and get them out of trouble.
I think
he mentioned Michael Flynn, and who else did he mention? One other as well. Let me just see if I can find the comment that he made in our chat earlier.
Because I think they've not got time to.
Darryl Clark, that was the other name he mentioned.
Yeah, they've not really got the time to look.
No, you can't be wasting 2 or 3 games, can you?
No, they've not got the time to interview people and then whittle it down. They've not got that, Charlie. It's a case of, I think they've probably got someone lined up if they've made that decision. You'd like to think so anyway. It's a bit of a strange one if you've not got a plan in place, if not a permanent replacement or just someone to fill that gap. Because like I said, they're in the stage where they need points, whether it be a draw or win. And Gillingham coming into town is absolutely massive because, unfortunately for you, you're absolutely dreadful. So it's what a better opportunity to set the ball rolling and get a massive 3 points, because it then pushes you up to 34. And if the results don't obviously help them elsewhere, it's a massive giant step into.
Yeah, that's it. Like you say, it's not a case of they're not going to be able to go for someone that's in a current position, are they? It's going to have to be someone that's out of work that can just come in and firefight and just give them a boost for 6 weeks, essentially. But yeah, sorry to see the end of Scott Lindsay. I think the Crawley fans were as well, obviously, because what he'd done in 23-24 was absolutely phenomenal. But he does seem to have very small contact book in terms of new signings because he just goes back to what he knows every time.
Yeah, he does, definitely.
Gillingham 1, Bristol Rovers 2 was the final score in Kent. Ronan Hale's 16th minute penalty put the Gills in front. But we decided to not play for 2 halves, conceded about 45 seconds into the second period, allowed Alfie Kilgore the freedom of Medway to head home off the underside of the bar. And Ellis Harrison won it on 72 minutes after an absolute catastrophe of a goal again. So I don't know if you've seen it, mate. Long ball over the top. Our captain mistimes his jump, heads it back towards our goal. Ellis Harrison's offside. We don't switch on. He realises he can go for the ball because it's come off of our player. Jake Turner, I felt for him, made 2 good saves. Still, we don't react, and Harrison taps it in. And then to compound things, Armani Little got himself sent off in the 13th minute of injury time, having been booked for dissent, I think, or a silly foul in the 89th minute. He put a post out. I'm going to put this to the audience, bearing in mind that it's a very different noise that you get for a free kick or a stoppage in play to what you get for full time, which is normally 3 blows on a whistle. Armani Little said that he thought it was the full-time whistle, and that's why he smacked the ball into the away end, essentially, and then had to walk down the tunnel with his tail between his legs. Daft, unlucky. Whichever way it is, it's just synonymous with Gill's season, unfortunately. Just bad decision after bad decision over the last few months.
I think that's frustration of him coming out there. I think he's not done with anything other than it's just frustration how the season's gone for him, maybe personally, but also collectively. As Gillingham obviously started really well, and it's just
second silly ban though for Armani Little, our captain, is what I would add to this, because his last 2 posts on Twitter or X, if you go and have a look, was this one on Saturday trying to explain that, and his last one was in November apologising for getting sent off for foul and abusive language and gestures towards the Newport fans in the FA Cup game. So needs to learn faster would be my point. 55 of you are still watching, which is absolutely superb. So thank you very much. Right. So let us know what you think, if anyone who see it. Unlucky, silly, anything else. Grimsby Town spanked Barrow by 5 goals to 0, mate. Andy Cook on 17 minutes, and then there were doubles for Kieran Green and Jays Cabia, who's now got 3 in his last 2 as we approach the business end of the season, as the Mariners smashed the Bluebirds to move back into the playoff places. And they had that blip at the turn of the year, but they've been really good for a while now, Grimsby, back into the playoff berths. We've already said it. Barrow look doomed. And if you don't think they are, listen to this running.
Here we go. Sorry, Barrow.
Saturday, Bromley at home. Good Friday, MK Dons away. Easter Monday, Chesterfield at home. Week after, Barnet away. Week after, on the Tuesday, Oldham at home. On the Saturday, Walsall at home. Penultimate fixture of the season, away to Cambridge. I can't see there being anything on Barrow v Newport. Not from Barrow's perspective anyway, unfortunately, mate. I think they are down. I've said it. I will write that one down.
That is absolutely stinking, isn't it?
It's not fun, is it? Like you feel sorry for them because I don't even know what to say, similarly to my situation with Gills at the moment. That is an absolute horror run of games when you need to be winning football matches.
Yeah, because they've not even got a team that... I mean, they've played Newport, who are obviously down there as well. They've not even got a team that's, say, going to be on the beach or anything. They're all...
So Bromley will be trying to win the title. MK Dons will either be trying to win the title or stay in the top 3. Chesterfield trying to get in the playoffs. Barnet trying to bridge the gap to the playoffs. Oldham trying to get in the playoffs. Walsall trying to get in the playoffs. Cambridge could still be trying to win the title.
I'm sorry, Barrow fans, but I'd start looking at National League fixtures next season. I really would.
Oh yeah, that is so grim. It's unreal.
But Mark, what do we know? They're definitely
Exactly,
winning
yeah. So
51.
Q, Barrow winning 5 of their last 8. I can't see it. As much as we laugh about we get some bits wrong, that is absolutely honking from a Barrow perspective. Teams that scored 5 weren't just Grimsby. Notts County put the same amount past Cheltenham, who replied with 2 of their own through Isaac Hutchinson, but it was Jody Jones, Matty Palmer, Tom Iopenda, a James Wilson own goal, and Tyrese Hall, who saw the Pies make it 9 goals and 6 points in a week. Someone's just made a comment and said, brave choice, Notts County, too inconsistent. I've just had a look. They won 10 of their last 14 games. They've got goal scorers. They've got threats all over the pitch. I've said it, so I'm gonna lock it in. Notts County, but yeah, like we said earlier in the show, Jatta and Dennis didn't get on the score sheet in either of them two, which can only be a plus for Notts County and Martin Patterson, their manager.
Yeah, to score 9 goals in a week and not have your front men score any of them is absolutely brilliant. I think he's probably referring to that little blip that they had a couple of games that they either lost or drew, but they've bounced back, and that's what it's about. Obviously, a great win at Atkinson midweek, and then to back it up against Cheltenham when they went 1 down as well, scoring. Pick of the goals, that Iopenda, really, really good goal. Took it on the half turn and great turn and it just dribbled and a fantastic finish. But every credit to Notts County. They've proved so many wrong because everyone was thinking that the model
62 watching. Wow. Carry on.
It's got to be our biggest number, but they're proving a lot of people wrong, because I think even the Notts County fans were a little bit sceptical going into this season. Would you say, in terms of
I think so.
Quite know?
I think so. Yeah. Those that I spoke to in the summer said they didn't think. I don't think they had them as low as I did, but I think they were sort of saying sort of mid-table and sort of top 10, but not challenging for the top 3. So fair play again to absolutely everyone. They've made me eat humble pie. 2 of their next 4, they play Harrogate and Newport. So you'd fancy them to win them 2, and then Salford and Oldham are their other 2 of their next quartet. Yeah, then they got a tricky run at the end. So, but if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best and all that type of thing. So yeah, I think they've got a great chance of getting in the top 3. What else have we got?
You look at Oldham tomorrow in Notts County. I think that's Oldham's test, is in terms of, obviously, yeah, it's a game in hand. They don't really want it at 3, because if they get 3 points, it puts them really, really in contention. But I think that is in terms of acid test, because I think Notts County have proven this season that they're better than Chesterfield. And if I was to say going into that Chesterfield Oldham, I probably fancied Oldham going into it. I just think the form were really good. So tomorrow, I think, is a real test for Oldham to see where they are at.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah. That leads us nicely on to our next game. They beat Harrogate by 1-0 thanks to Jake Leake's 60th minute winner. Another team, a 6-point and 2 clean sheet week for the Latics, as Mickey Mellon's team threatened to gatecrash the top 7. They're now up to 11th. The gap is 4 points, but they've got a game in hand on Grimsby, who sit in 7th, and they've got 2 in hand over Chesterfield, Crewe and Walsall, who occupy 8th, 9th and 10th at the moment. So even if you say they drew their 2 games in hand, they're only going to be 2 points off the playoffs.
Yeah, I've just touched on that fixture tomorrow. I think maybe a draw won't be a bad
nope, not a
result.
Disaster at all.
No, because obviously Notts County is scoring. They're right up there.
Wouldn't help my prediction for 3rd, but still.
No, but I think it would be a decent, because it moves them a point closer. A win, they're in absolute dreamland.
And you said that last Tuesday. That were the words you said before they went to Chesterfield. So then they play Crewe. Then they play Crewe on Saturday away to Colchester, and then MK Dons. But
I think after that, it's not a bad
4
run,
of
is
their
it?
last 5 are fairly favourable. If you'd said you've got to pick up points against Shrewsbury, Barrow, Salford, Newport and Accrington to finish up to get in the playoffs, you'd have gone, thanks very much. So, yeah, definitely a team to keep an eye on. Right, we've got 1, 2, 3 more games to cover. Shrewsbury Town, who's talking about teams on the beach. Shrewsbury might be one of them at the moment. They got slapped 4-0 at home to Crewe Alexander. Matt Cox own goal, Josh March double, and an Emre Tezgel strike. Saw Crewe complete the scoring before the 70th minute to continue their push for the playoffs, or to continue to keep them in the hunt of the playoffs. I'm not sure I'll call it a push for the playoffs at the moment. They, a bit like Chesterfield, they look like they're going to get in there and stay in there, and then they have a drop off.
Yeah, I mean, their own form, it's been their away form that's really done them, hasn't it? Their own form up until they got beat. Did they get beat? Did they get beat by Walsall? Wasn't it? Was it Walsall?
Let me have a look.
I think it was Walsall last time.
Beat Shrewsbury, drew with Cheltenham. Yeah, lost to Walsall and Bristol Rovers back to back before picking up 4 points in the last 2 games.
But their own form has been really good. But I don't know. If I were to pick one, it wouldn't be Crewe. It really wouldn't be Crewe. They're a little bit inconsistent.
I don't think them or Chesterfield get in at the moment. If you have to ask me to say,
not Chesterfield.
I don't think they do.
No.
Oh, again, I think they're similar to Crewe. They're in and out, aren't they, all the time? You get slapped at home to Oldham, then they go Accrington and win. You don't know what Chesterfield you're getting at the moment. That's the trouble. And you need a team that's fairly consistent at this stage of the season, I think, to put, like I say, like Oldham, that are putting a run together, 8, 9, 10 unbeaten, winning plenty of football matches. I don't see that with Crewe or Chesterfield at the moment.
Yeah, Chesterfield look really vulnerable defensively, if anything. I think they're good going forward, but for what I've watched against
52
Oldham,
goals this season.
Yeah, look really, really vulnerable.
Which is the most in top 15. No other side in the top 15 has conceded that many. So you're looking at like rubbish downwards, like Gills.
Yes, so that is really not good reading, is it?
Which doesn't help you out, does it at all? Yeah. Scored, like you say, attacking wise, they've scored 61, but you look at their goal difference, +9. Grimsby's is +16. Salford's the other weird one. Theirs is only +6, but Swindon's is +19. Notts County's is +26. Cambridge is +28. MK Dons +36. Bromley +26. It's not a goal difference that gets you in there if it comes down to that, I don't think.
No, and that is key, because I think it is looking like it could come down to that, because the points is really, really close. We'll obviously do the league table at the end, and it's
congested.
It is,
like from 7th down to 11th now is nut. Like 7th down to 12th is only 5 points.
Yeah, exciting. That's what we like.
It is exciting. Yeah, plenty of games to keep an eye on. Simon says Oldham's next 4: Notts County home, Crewe away, Colchester and MK. Yeah, just looked at that, like games you want to play. I'm not being funny. Like, they're all tough, but
well, yeah,
if you want to be in the top 7, you're going to have to beat good sides, aren't you? Yeah, it's in your hands. You beat them, you take points off of them as well as gaining points yourself.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Martin Patterson? Says, right, I think he's done a brilliant job. Like, I didn't rate him at all. I think he'd had one job in England, that was Burton, which didn't go well at all. I thought that, and that football board thing that they came out with, that weird statement in the summer, was, I said at the time, I don't know what you thought, Lee, I think we discussed it, that it felt like it was a job that someone like only Martin Patterson would take, who wanted a foot back in the door in managerial terms, rather than like an established manager taking it, because it all felt very alien and a bit weird at the time, but it's clearly works. A fair play to everybody.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it does work in terms of the goings on, whether he's just simply there to coach the players, and the structure behind have more say on what really goes and he's just there as a face just to coach it. And it might be working in terms of that Martin Patterson might thrive off that sort of thing, and it might take the pressure off him that he can just coach them players on a training field and implement it on a weekend or a midweek, and it might be that where it's got that balance, it's working. Whereas some managers, it might not work because they want that overall structural managerial, like everything goes through them type thing. Whereas this, it might be different avenues, and
it's very much like a head coach role, isn't it, rather than manager? I think manager has like the final say on transfers, does some of the scouting himself, sort of has overall control of everything.
Exactly.
Whereas head coach, you think there's a lot of other departments, but like I've said, whatever it is, it's worked for Notts County, so fair play to them. Aaron says he hopes for a decent game at our place and a decent ref. Well, it was a good ref for you, mate, at the time, wasn't it? We're not talking about that. I've had enough of this season as it is. Riley says thoughts on Tom Eorpender for Notts. He's had a really good season. I think he's got 7 or 8 goal contributions from about 30 games. So, yeah, looks a real player. Be key in the running. Yeah, he scored some good. What's the saying? He's not a good goal scorer, but he's a scorer of good goals. He's not going to get you loads of goals, but when he does pop up with them, they tend to be really good goals. We've got another top 3 prediction. MK, Bromley, Salford. That's a big shout. That's the and Salford.
Jesus. No.
Salford with 5 points to make up on the top 3 at the moment. Play MK Dons on Saturday, then Notts County, then Crewe, then Gillingham, Oldham, Bromley, Crawley. Cool, that's quite brutal as well. But again, similar to Oldham, you want to play teams in and around you. It's almost like 6 points at this stage of the season if you beat them, isn't it? So
seems to be a lot of them fixtures where teams are playing each other, which makes it even more attractive.
Yeah. I'll just watch it from afar.
Or watch it behind a pillar, whoever Jill's are playing.
That's why I watch Jill's behind a screen or behind like that. Tranmere Rovers 0, Swindon Town 1. It was Junior Hoylett's injury time winner that made it back-to-back wins for Swindon this week without conceding a goal as they cement their place in the top 7. And the games were rounded off with Walsall's 2-1 win against Newport County. The Amber Army actually took the lead in this one. Harrison Biggins after 38 minutes, but Dan Carnu and Alex Patterson's belter in the 97th minute won it for the Saddlers as they continue to try and climb back into the top 7. They are now 2 points off of it, having played a game extra. Right, in terms of a summary, mate, before we get the league table up, I've written big winners up the top were Bromley, Oldham, Swindon and Grimsby all picked up wins to 0. Notts County, 2 wins and 9 goals in a week. And Cambridge, who can go second, with their game in hand after 4 points and 2 clean sheets from 2 tough games. At the other end, Bristol Rovers look safe after back-to-back wins. Shrewsbury are safe and have stopped and got on holiday, it looks like. Tranmere continue to plummet. Crawley sacked Scott Lindsay, we've already said that. And Barrow doomed. Next 7 against 12th and upwards. Final day versus Newport. Maybe too late, I've written down. Shall we have a look at the league table?
Let's have a butchers.
Here we go. So, yeah, it's looking quite congested in certain areas of that table. Here it comes on the screen now. Let me just remove that comment. So the league table takes centre stage. So at the moment, it is Barrow proving to be the strongest team in the division as they hold everyone else up. 29 points from 38 games, but a mixture of form and fixtures to come says that we both think they're locked in to finish bottom of the league and go down into the National League. Harrogate, 39 games, 30 points, are just below the dreaded line at the moment, by no means out of it. And then it's Newport County and Crawley Town. They both have 31 points apiece from the same amount of games. Tranmere, I'm concerned about, like I've said, 1 win in about 15. Now the gap to safety is only 6 points, but they continue to hurtle towards the dreaded drop zone. We've then got teams that are safe in Shrewsbury, Cheltenham, Bristol Rovers, Gillingham, Accrington, Colchester and Fleetwood. They make up the bottom half. And then it gets interesting, doesn't it, buddy? Barnet
Cool.
in 12th, just 5 points off the playoffs, which is occupied by Grimsby in 7th at the moment, but can't get away from Oldham. 37 games. They played the least. They've only lost 9 games. They've only conceded 31. Yeah, they're going to be hunting down the Saddlers, the Alex and the Spyrites over the next few weeks, it looks like. And like you've said, that game against, who did we say tomorrow night?
Oldham, Notts County, isn't it?
Notts County is an absolute huge one in the chase for 7th and also the chase for 3rd for the away side. Playoffs occupied by Grimsby, Salford, Swindon and Notts County at the moment. We're not locking it in terms of positions, but do we think that Salford, Swindon and anyone from Salford, is almost guaranteed a playoff place now, because there's a gap from 6th to 7th, isn't there?
Yeah, I'd say Salford. Obviously, they had that blip and they seem to have come through that now, and it would set them losing a lot of football matches for them to drop out. Because you even look at, obviously, Chesterfield 62 and Salford on 67, so a couple of wins there. And you can't see it. I'd say, yeah, it's that 7th spot that's just up for grabs now, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think so. Because even if Oldham win their 2 games in hand, they go on to 64. Still a 3-point gap to Salford City.
Exactly,
the thing about Salford is they lose a lot of games, but they win plenty as well, like Swindon, don't they? So even if they lose a game, they go and win the next 2. That's better than drawing 3. So I think that keeps them in there. And then their top 3, as it stands, Cambridge 3rd, 38 games, 72 points. MK Dons 2nd, 39 games, 74 points. And Bromley have a 9-point cushion to the playoffs, 79 points from their 39 games. Haven't lost since November. Have only lost 4 times in all. Champions elect.
Bromley. We're Bromley fans, mate. We can't speak highly enough about them, so I'm sticking my neck out to Jonathan. Yeah, Bromley to win it. Just be a great, great story.
Yeah, I think so. Cannot get away from them. And then underneath, loads of football to still be played. Dave Artell been linked to the Rotherham job. He's Rotherham born and bred as well, says Aaron. Yeah, I think he did a decent interview last week, though, and said the only person he spoke to from Rotherham in the last couple of months is his mum, and she's not going to offer him the job, which made me laugh. Harrogate well set up against us on Saturday, says James, the Oldham fan, unlucky not to score, which is what we've mentioned. They've got a bit about them now, Harrogate, somehow. PVFC Life is back in and says, looks like Val will most likely be welcome to League Two. Yeah, welcome back, mate. If you are, relegation's never nice, been there, got stuck in this division for far too long, but come and join us on a Monday. If you're new, subscribe to both channels if you like EFL content. And yeah, we'll see you a couple of times next season at Vale Park and at the Priestfield. Cotton Pie says, do you think Scunny will get promoted? There's a slim chance. Yeah, we've already met. It's tough, isn't it? Lee, you cover the National League a lot more than I do, and brilliantly as well. Like we've said for weeks, months, however long, that it needs to be 3 up, 3 down. It's tough for any side in the playoffs with the eliminators and only one going up automatically, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it is what it is now, unfortunately. We can't change it now. I think Scunny's just main aim, they've just got to get in the playoffs. I think even if they fail when they're in the playoffs, I think for a first season promotion last season, for what they've gone through in terms of a club, there were days from going out of business to be in the playoffs now. First season back in the National League, it's absolutely fantastic. You have to remember the budget that they've got compared to teams in and around them. You look at likes of York, Carlisle, Forest Green. The far outweigh what Scunny have had to spend. So every credit has to go to Scunthorpe United because, like I said, first season back, it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, right. Let's run through the last few comments because we are well into injury time. We're about the time where Armani Little got sent off on Saturday. And on that, Sue says it's one of them things that happens when things are going badly and you're a bit of a hothead. Thomas Hill says it's a load of nonsense. He lost his head, wasn't bold enough to admit it. He's one of the disappointments of this season. It just sums up his time at Gillingham. Yeah, got no issue with Armani in terms of work rate and willingness to try hard, but I just think he's a mid-table League Two footballer. And if we want to be nearer the top end in the next season or so, then time to move on for me. Not setting a good example from your captain. So, yeah, seems to be a general theme. What else have we got? Paul says he wants Bromley to go up into League One as it's a ground he's not visited, only one of a handful yet. Just another thing, isn't it? This is why we watch football. We're all ticking off different grounds. I must admit, I don't even class it as the 92. I class it as the 72 because I'm not that interested in the Premier League, to be honest. When Barrow go down, a League Two club needs to snap up Danny Rowe. I don't know what his contract situation is because obviously I think Gills are going to be in the market for quite a few players. So it'd be one I'd be interested in to have a look at. I don't know geographically whether it would make sense, but I've always been impressed with Danny Rose. I thought he was unlucky to not play as many games at Grimsby this season, but obviously Jay's Cavier started the season well, and then Andy Cook plays. Bob says it was petulant from Armani. Whether he knew it was full-time or not, he's the captain and needs to lead by example. That was exactly my point. How often do we say, if you're on a yellow card, don't give the referee another decision to make? Sue says, sorry to see Barrow go. Went to see them play Salop and it was a great day out. You feel like you've travelled. You certainly feel like you've travelled. So we did it a few weeks ago and it's one hell of a trip. Took us 8.5 hours to get there. There was massive issues on the motorway. But yeah, no Pattaya for Shannon's replied and says, yeah, but those beams in the away stand are terrible. Yeah, it's not. It's like a gazebo. And then there's just pylons like every 10 foot. It's a horrible ground to watch football. But, you know, we all have our budgets and our means and we all have to live within them. So no one likes to see other sides get relegated. But yeah, if I had to pick them or Harrogate to stay up, I'm staying with Harrogate just for the pastry. Is Matt drinking on the Monday? What have Jules done to you? What this? Yeah, it's apple juice, mate. Deary me, if that was a beer, I'd be concerned.
Yeah, flat as a fart.
What's wrong with your Guinness? I don't drink at all. Maybe I should. It might make Saturdays between 3 and 5 a lot more bearable. I thought you were commenting then, mate, but we've got an around the county ground commenting as well. Yeah, loads going on. Right, I think we've covered everything, mate, over the last 7 days, 8 days, 6 days, whatever it is. Thank you to everybody who's been watching. We really do appreciate it, as we say, every single week. Still have 37 of you watching as we approach 80 minutes. It's absolutely phenomenal. So thank you very much. Like we always say, please press like, please press hype. Please subscribe to both channels, which will be in the description at the bottom of the show, which you can find on YouTube if you didn't watch live. As always, he has been Lee, I've been Matt, and this has been the League 2 Hour.